Hello, all you drama enthusiasts. Welcome to the meeting. This is Angie's Drama Room, and I am your meeting host, Angie. And what is Angie's Drama Room? If you did not know, I do drama reviews or I discuss dramas or any Asian inspired dramas, such as your fantasy, rom com, contemporary. Contemporary rom coms are my favorite. Any Asian inspired dramas could be Chinese, Japanese, any of those dramas. And today I am going to be talking about Shadow Love. This starred Ching Li and Song Yi. Um, so we know that Ching Li had three dramas out. Technically, it was kind of two and a half or two and a three-fourths, right? The first one is him and the Legend of the Female General, and that stars Zhao Yi. And then while that was airing, the Shadow Love came in right after maybe the 24th episode or 25th episode of The Legend of Female General. Okay. Now that The Legend of Female General has ended, now we're looking at Shadow Love. However, the third drama comes out, and that's Footprints or something like Footsteps. And this is a Republican era drama. Okay. So with the female general, Legend of Female General, Zhao Yi, it was all her. The show was all about her. Okay. Because again, it's a female general. So the show was really about her. Every scene was her and of her in the scene. And Chung Li was just basically the eye candy and the romantic interest to throw off the romantic interest in the narrative of the show. Okay, so I watched up until episode 21. Okay, and I kind of stopped and I'm on Shadow Love. I was like, I did not even know this show was like this. I was amazed. It starts off with him being the Dark Prince, Prince Annan, and he was very arrogant. And they call him the Dark Prince because he was very arrogant and he was very stern and very yeah. His brother ascended to the throne, and he loved his brother, and his brother loved him. So it was no brother rivalry going on. His brother ascended to the throne. However, during their battle in Luchan, he found out that his brother was taken out of the castle, and it's not even a castle. He was taken out and by the Queen Dogwalker, brought into this cave, and it was full of it was supposed to be bloody water, and he thought so. He found out what was going on, so he went to try to rescue his brother. And when he got there, a fight went on. We had this one black dark magic guy who was performing dark magic, and a fight broke out. And he got there was this jade stone that implanted in him that made him have superpowers and fast speed and just superpowers. And he was able to leave the place. He falls into the forest, and while he's there, our female lead, which was Song Yi, which was General Li, she was fighting his army. Okay. So this again, we have two enemies of two houses, right? So she was fighting his army, and he was hiding he was buried in some leaves, so she didn't see him on the ground. She got cut during, of course, she was fighting, and a blood drop falls and lands on him through the leaves. Yes, through the leaves. And the blood, so it was like the jade was activated by her blood. So in order for the jade to be activated, it has to have a blood host. The General Li blood our female lead, was able to control him through, well, it was not controlling him because she didn't know about it. And when that blood dropped on him, he rises up like a phoenix out of the leaves, and he presents himself as a young boy, 9ish, 6ish, 6 or 7ish. I think it's like around 6 or 7. And because of the jade, he has superhuman strength. So he was able to destroy or combat his own army now, but he didn't know this, and was able to knock him away and was able to win the battle for her. And he just falls into her arms. So now our fierce warrior, General Li, right, woman, she takes him back to her tent or her residency. Now she's caring for a little boy. So now she's become the fierce warrior. Now she's like the mothery type and trying to figure out where this little boy came from. He wasn't a little boy that long, really. I think it was just 2 episodes and maybe 2 weeks or so. He wasn't a little boy that long. Now he became a grown man, which is Chang Li. So the next morning when she woke up, here we have Cheng Li, and he does not remember nothing of his past life. She's like, "Where'd you come from? What you doing?" They found out, of course, he was a little boy. So then she named him Jinan. Okay. Now that he is Jinan, he finds out that he has this thing because something happened where she had to go and fight another war, and he senses her blood. He senses her blood, and he has to crave her blood in order to continue to survive. And whenever he is weak, he has to have her blood in order to get stronger. So he knows if she's hurting, or of course, we got to save the damsel, right? So that's what happened. So she was out fighting. He finds out that something might happen, but he's kind of weak. But when he fell on a table and it hit hit the jade. The jade activated, and then now he becomes a masked dark, what they call the Men in Black, but the Dark Knight. Now the writer, the director, the acting, it was 100% superb. And I think watching this, I think the writer, if you wanted to say what type of superhero that she liked, I would say it would have been like Batman, and like the Dark Knight, because that's kind of what he was. He had a mask, and he has superhuman power, superhuman strength, but because he wore a mask, they did not know who he was. And she didn't know at the time who he was. He just thought it was this man showing up out of nowhere helping her. She didn't put 2 to 2 together until later on in the series. So here we are. So the next 10 or 12 episodes shows the journey that the two are on now, that the General Li and Jinan, now he's Jinan, lost all memory of his past. He doesn't even know that he used to be the Dark Prince. He lost all that memory. And so now the journey was on between the two, and even the journey they developed. I'm telling you, there was no filler episodes. I was on my edge of my seat, just like the Prisoner of Beauty. I'm even topping this one. Shadow Love, top Prisoner of Beauty for me. They gave us several stages. This woman gave us several stages of Chin Li. And I have yet to finish watching it. I think we have another 4 or 5 episodes to go. It's a 36 episode drama. Now they're only going to give us here in the States, starting tomorrow, they're only going to give us 1 episode a day. So I have to wait till the end of the week to finish watching this whole thing. And I believe in other places they have finished watching it. They didn't even give like the VVIP, the upcharging if you wanted to watch more. No, I probably would have paid for it. I never did. And yes, I probably would have paid for it. That is how good it was to me. And everybody was anticipating him going back and becoming Prince Annan. And yeah, so was I. And it wasn't the fact that him becoming the Prince Annan, it was the fact that taking care of that Queen Dog Walker. I wanted to see what he was going to do. And It was, yes, he took care of her on the spot. He toyed with her. He was playing around with her. She had no leg to stand on. She had nothing. And she thought she was doing something. If you command the army, you command the throne. And she didn't even command the army. He was the prince of the army. He was the dark prince of the army, Prince Annan. He had his own army. So, yeah, she had no leg to stand on. I'm not going to tell you too much. When he turned into Prince Annan and he captured our General Li, there was, she cut her hand, and the symbolic of that, people were like, oh, the symbolic of it, the blood that he once craved, that he had to live on in order to survive, it was just no more mere drippings that fell to the wayside. It didn't matter anymore. And that was very symbolic. And then at the end, I think it was more because he still had that soft heart about, he didn't want to torture her, as I think it's just the nature of man. Okay, you are supposed to protect women, so I don't think it was him realizing that it was General Li, or he was by Jinan knowing that who she should have been. No, I think he was just the nature of man, that he wanted to just to protect her, so he immediately stopped trying to hurt her. Okay, and then he come. I'm telling you guys, uh, really, you just got to watch Shadow Love. It has been the best so far I have seen. I mean, we had superhero strength. We had superhero powers. I love superhero movies. I love the superhero movies. We have the love interest. We have just it. All this all together was just excellent, superb. Um, I watched it. I don't even know. I don't know nothing much more about Chin Lee, Legend of Female General. I know he was on that. I probably turned it on because of him on this, but it's still two separate roles. I don't even see it. I don't see. I'm like 100% in on this one. The writing, it's just the way it was written, the direction, the stunt, the martial arts stunts they were doing in this one. It was tops 100%. Um, I will give you my final review. I am going to give you my final review once all episodes air. I just hope that it ends just as good as beginning, because each and every episode kept you on your toes, and I watched it, each and every one of them. This is almost reminds me of As Beautiful as You when it came out, the contemporary drama with Zukai and 710, and how much I enjoyed that one. Yeah, this one almost tops that too for me. Uh, Thanks for watching. I hope you are watching Shadow Love. Shadow Love. Meeting adjourned.